this. Like, it's crazy, man.
Hello, welcome back to another episode of the Assimilation Podcast.
Sir.
I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. I go by the name of MJMPOYI, and I'm joined here with a person. Let me introduce Tepo first, because my introduction
Government
for the person
name.
who... Okay, my bad. Let me introduce my co-host, Eskay Osbourne.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
And-
sir. Thanks. Shout out to the viewers and everybody at home, chilling and watching.
Oh my goodness, okay.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we joined here with a person. This individual has had an impact personally, not only in high school on me, but also had an impact on my life.
Yo,
This
who's this
person-
person?
Dog, this is my intro. Can you let me finish?
Okay, alright, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
So this person has actually impacted my life in some way.
Yeah.
They've motivated us. Okay, they've motivated me. They've inspired me to do more and want more.
Uh-huh.
This person has been achieving ever since I've known him. He has been always excelling. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm blessed with his presence because I didn't even know that it was going to happen like this, but I happened to invite him on the same day that he is getting his graduation marks. Can I call it graduation marks?
Final results.
So he finally has graduated. Let me put it like that. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm blessed with his presence. Butkali, thank you so much for accepting my invitation to come out here to the podcast, even though I know you have so many things that you could have been doing right now or you could have been celebrating. But I want to thank you for taking the time out to just bless us with your presence.
Thanks.
So let's jump right into it. I want to talk about life in varsity because personally I believe that. Are you going to varsity?
Hey, I applied, babe.
Yeah. So personally, for us who has just finished high school, for us who are going into another, can I call it another life, because our life is bound to
Stage.
change. Yeah.
Environment.
Another environment.
Yeah.
So how did you fix, or how did you change your perspective, or how did it
Or what had to change?
exactly what impacted you? How did it impact you?
Yeah.
You moving in another environment,
Was
especially
it
for
still
the
like
fact
high
that
school life?
for the fact that you moved from a province to another province. How did that change?
Alright. First of all, greetings to the viewers. So let's get right into it. So, moving from one province to another, from Gauteng to Eastern Cape, being a Rhodes graduate officially today.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So yeah, moving from one province to another, especially for the first time, has been like a really scary experience. I would legit say, okay, the deputy head boy is just now a random student, just a random person amongst a big crowd, students who establish themselves, who know where they're going, that type of thing. So it does get scary, even if you like within the province, going to university in itself, it's scary. Like, you don't know what to expect, you know what you're studying, but what is it that you're going to face when you study and whatnot. So you just need to really prepare yourself for having to open up to a lot of people, particularly those that will be helping you in the academic space. Choosing your friends becomes very crucial as well. And by all means, the university environment does get tricky, so you need to ensure that you call home whenever you get the chance. If you do get the chance to go home, even if it's just for a day or two, just ensure that you fill in a leave of absence for your lectures and tutorials. Then go home, come back, recharge, because
You have to fill in a form.
So if you are absent in mainly that's for for your exams. Well, not exams rather, but your tests and whatnot. And even for like a lecture, I think it's like really a good discipline to have, because now it shows that as much as I won't be here, I'm also showing that I'm making an effort as to telling you why I won't be able to make the lecture.
So Rhodes is in Eastern Cape.
Grahamstown, Eastern Cape. So
do you know a bit of Xhosa now, or are you still?
No, the thing is, I'm still the same guy that I was at Bursley. I still not speak English, Afrikaans, and Setswana. So normally, as somebody
You didn't forget Afrikaans.
No, I can't.
Yeah,
I
man.
can't read Afrikaans, but I can't read Afrikaans.
Hey.
So basically, like, obviously, it would make sense for me to like learn this class when I'm there because you know it's mainly dominated by Pakistan people. But then when I introduced myself as hi, I'm Bukhali, I'm from Kingston Park, Gauteng. I said, oh, what do you speak? No, I speak Setswana. And then instead of them trying to teach you to speak Xhosa, they're like, no, can you teach us Setswana?
Yeah.
So it just becomes that thing of communities are there. You find people that you went to school with, but being from Bursley, there were like I think only 4 people from work school Bursley that are Rhodes students.
Were they first years?
First years.
Oh, crazy.
You know, others like it's very rare for a Burshleyaner to be at Rhodes. You find them you either find them at Fitz, UP or UJ or UCT. You won't find them at Rhodes. It's very rare. So yeah, like the communities are very diverse. Rhodes is actually more international than it is South African, like when I'm looking at student population. And the communities that are there, you will make it seem as if you never left home. You find people that speak Setswana space.
Oh, okay, that's nice. Because I thought it was mostly dominated by, Xhosa people since it's there.
But Rhodes is like very diverse.
Legit.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's hella lit.
That's dope.
Yeah.
So, looking at it academic-wise,
Mm-hmm.
did it impact you? Like, for instance, how they taught in high school and how they taught in university? How is it? How do they call it? That change.
The transition. Well, it was really a significant change in the sense that now you're going from just having to learn and practice work in high school, but then now in university, my first year I took economics, politics, law, and history. I'd like to point out law, where now you have to read cases, you have to apply yourself. You read cases, but it gets intense as you go up.
You read cases as in you being the lawyer
Like,
or the judge?
Well,
or
you
just
read cases as a
reading
law.
it?
You read cases as a law student.
Oh,
You're searching for answers.
Okay.
You want to apply yourself.
What's the most interesting case you've read?
Wow, I don't even remember because I left law some time ago, like in the middle of my second year. So yeah, there was a case that I remember. I think it's I forgot the name, but what I do remember it was about delictual affairs. What that is basically like, it was a case, I think it's called Fuliyum versus something, I forgot. It was about a rugby team, like someone was injured in a rugby team and a coach ordered a tactic. He ordered a tactic during the game called a jackknife, and it was like an illegal tackle or something like that nature, I can't recall. And that particular individual got tackled so bad to a point whereby certain bones of the body did not align the way. Like if you were to walk, you wouldn't walk the way, like maybe the leg was shorter than the other. That type of thing.
There's a tackle like that.
Like the tackle was that intense, it was a jackknife tackle.
Called jackknife.
Jackknife.
So we should start jumping people like, hey, jackknife.
so technically, the whole idea is like, okay, we get that a person was tackled, but what does this have to do with the case? How does the case fare?
Yeah.
How does it go? So now, the person who was represented, this injured person, was then suing for delictual claims. Now that is basically you making reference to getting some form of remuneration or some form of compensation. There we go, for your injury. But then it won't really recover you body wise. It won't recover. So that's one of the cases that really intrigued me.
Yeah, that's crazy because it goes two ways. Cause you chose to go play.
Yeah.
It's like
that's what it is. So the chat was just really about the tactic being used, and I feel like that's what really pushed the case. I really forgot.
No, it's really an interesting thing,
Yeah, it really is.
But why did you want to study specifically law?
Okay, so just a bit of a backstory. When I finished my matric year, I was really dependent on one university application at Northwest University. I got a provisional acceptance only to get.
So you wanted to go to Northwest? Was it the only university you wanted to go to?
Yeah,
For real?
Yeah.
You wanted to go back home?
Well, in a sense, yeah.
Damn.
In a sense, so that's
home.
Language barrier.
Does home mean so much like that to you that you want to?
Well, at that time,
Man.
that's what I wanted. But
I wish I could be like that.
Yeah.
And you don't.
Nah.
So yeah.
I look for better, good education. That's where I'm going.
That's what it is. And it's not like it's the only university I applied to, but it was the only university at that time that took interest in taking. And that's.
Or it gave you that thingy where they tell you that you've been
provisionally accepted. So it's like, okay, fine.
They're waiting for your results.
They're just waiting for the final results. And then somewhere just before they come through, I get declined. I'm like, oh, okay.
How?
Apparently,
I
it was
think-
like
I think
an
the
administrative
reason
issue.
why is, like, for instance, for the universities, I'm speaking now for myself,
Alright.
the universities that I apply to, they tell you that you don't need to email us your statement.
Yeah,
They'll get it from the department straight.
yeah.
So that's how they make those
Normally
decisions.
that's
Like,
how-
on that day that you're getting your
The
statement,
results.
they tell you already if you accepted
yeah,
or if
yeah,
you
They
rejected.
tell you before you get your results. They be
Exactly.
like,
So you already
Hey,
know.
you already know what's
It's
happening.
lit.
It's lit. So that's what it was, you know. It's unfortunately things didn't go the way, and yeah, you know, I had to apply in the year that I got my statement.
but look
the
at you
following
now.
year. But look at me now, you
Yeah.
know, a whole entire Rhodes graduate,
It's crazy.
and yeah, you know, I've just been speaking about this whole situation that I even forgot the question.
The
Oh, it was about the academic environment. Yeah, yeah. So
Your memory, bro.
yeah, it was about the academic environment, you know. So generally, like, you just need to make the right decisions in terms of holistic wellness. Are you well socially, mentally, spiritually, physically,
That-
and emotionally?
all of that impacts
All of that.
your performance academically.
Yeah, all of that does have some weight towards how you do in your academics as well. And just to ensure that you're not there just for academics, you're also there to really just explore, because you can't just like go to the Eastern Cape, study there, and not go to the beach. You understand? That's what it is. I mean,
What are you saying?
I mean, it's not
you
wrong.
just motivated us to stay on books, and now you're telling us to go have fun.
There's distractions.
I mean, there are distractions, you know, but it's not like, I mean, in my first year, I was just like, okay, fine, I'm here to study, get the job done, and leave. But
Yeah.
at the same time, you also, it's not like
You
you're
had
not
to
allowed have
enjoy
fun.
the
You also
place.
have to enjoy the place as well, you know. So just if you do get a chance,
He's
explore.
already thinking.
Explore.
It's like you're giving him the
Shit.
insights
It's good, it's good.
to go party all the way.
But one thing that high school and university have in common, especially in terms of studying, you need to have planning. You know, make a timetable for when you want to study, and also try different study techniques, because not everything is gonna work the same way as it did in high school. So you have to apply yourself differently. Speak to students that have done it before, like the modules that you did, because you know tutors are there. They'll be like, okay, no, this is how I would do it. There would even be past papers. Past papers are very important. So do not neglect past papers in any way. They're the reason why I'm here right now as a
So
And
it's
graduate.
he graduated.
And I graduated.
So yeah.
today, right
I
now.
also should listen.
Just got the
Yeah.
SMS.
Yeah, straight
So
up.
past papers.
Past papers, man. You know, they really help.
Because it's a guideline of
It's a
how
guideline.
the questions are asked.
Uh-huh.
Because most people just study, but then when it comes to answering the question, they don't understand how the question is asked. But they know their word.
Yeah.
It's just that they never understood what was being asked of them. And it's like,
I actually struggled with that.
Yeah.
Struggled like last year.
Mhm.
I never liked doing past papers. I'd rather do it on the day before that I'm writing.
Whoa.
That's when I start.
as
Because
guys genius.
before
Intense pressure.
before the time,
Yeah.
I would rather study than the day before
Mm.
do past papers, like that whole entire day.
Oh.
You do past papers, you mark. You do past papers, you mark. You revise.
Yeah.
That's and it was like, why do I have to do past papers?
You know.
And then I came to realization that this thing actually helps, because when I do it,
Yeah.
when I have to go and sit for an exam,
Yeah.
it's like I know exactly
Yeah, and
what
it even
question 1 is
decreases
going to be about,
the
what
work.
question 2 is going to be
Because
about.
like now you
Exactly.
can study smart rather than studying hard.
Exactly.
Because you get some people that study legit for like a whole 2 months. They're studying one thing, and you get that guy that's like a week before. He's like, okay,
but
I got
don't
my
think
topic sorted.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do this. They get more marks than you. It's just how life works. And, you know, you gotta have a. But let's not even go there, man. People are gonna feel like offended.
I'm not offended.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
offended.
You know.
So speaking about the university life
Sure.
as a whole,
Yeah.
you told us that you had to change.
Mhm.
I kind of want to go deeper.
Okay.
I want you to speak to us or tell us about the experience that you had when things didn't go your way in your first year.
Yeah.
How you had to react to it, and how you had to tell your family, or how your family approached it, the whole entire situation.
Whole
Can you-
entire situation. Yeah.
Can you just explain to us how it went, at least for you?
Alright. So in my first year I took economics, politics, history, law. And in my first year my mother was paying for my fees at Rhodes. And then going forward, Ness was sorted me out. Now, obviously when you're in your first year, you just really think about all these aspects. Like, okay, I need to do well. I didn't make it here by mistake. Like when you are at university, just realize that you did not make it to university by mistake. You applied, you worked hard, you were there. You just need to ensure that you do your best. Now, going back to the story, I'm just thinking about this. Okay, the fees are really going high. 100,000. It's a lot of money, you know. And
That's a whole car.
that's a whole car right there. You know, you're studying a whole car. So now, I'm just really coming through with the law. You know, economics is fine. Politics is also testing me at times, but I'm able to shake it off. You know,
Yeah.
history, I'm doing okay, like basic marks, just basic marks. Economics is where I'm doing okay.
All these subjects just sound so complicated.
They sound really complex in their own way, and they intertwine in their own ways.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like so you always find a connect between subjects. You're like, oh no, I actually did that in politics, or I did that in history, I did that in wherever. You know,
Oh.
that type of thing. So law was really the struggle, and you know, when I got my results, the reason I'm doing this is because like at a specific time in June, like after you get your results, you have to pay like 50% of the fees to see your results, so they were withheld. And the reason why I said got to see was because I knew that law was the problem, but I couldn't see the results. So now it's like, okay, fine.
So-
we didn't pay.
So in
yeah,
in
the fees were
varsity,
too high.
the fees were too high.
so in varsity you can't skip a month without paying. Okay.
Well, you have to come up with a payment plan, you know, a specific.
What happens
payment
if you skip a month without
if you
paying?
skip a month? That's fine as long as you pay. You just won't see.
Can
the
I ask
results.
what's your take on getting an online education?
All right. Getting an online education now is a forced hand based on what we're going through right
No,
now.
no, like not in terms of
Not in
like,
terms of
doing
that,
it
but-
online. I'm saying like
Go
an
study,
online institution.
Like you need
An
some
on-
type of stuff.
because
yeah.
you see the fees are too high. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So, do you think that since the fees are too high,
Yeah.
people should resort to things like online education because like this is killing our communities basically, like whereby you be a student that's willing to work hard but then because of fees you have to drop out.
You
Like
know.
what's that, you know, like
Yeah, it's an issue. Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
do you think getting us education online would be like an option?
Yeah, it is a really viable option, and you know, right now, looking at the option of UNISA, it is quite viable, and based on what these universities, the remaining universities that we're at now, having reses and accommodation, and you know, a space where
Yeah.
students can interact. You know, I feel like that's where the missing element is for an online education. That's the missing link, because now people can actually study things that they are passionate about, things that they know can carry weight to their degree,
Mm.
but then it's something that you cannot like bring up in a household. For example, I did politics, right? And one of my modules were gender studies, and gender studies speaking about sex and sexuality, and gender and sex are two different things, by the way. Gender
Yeah.
being the social construct and sex being biological. So now imagine having to discuss the topic of sexuality, different forms of sexuality at the time in a household that
Yeah.
has a heteronormative mindset. So an online education.
And I feel like most families are like really like that. They're so
One-
one-minded. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like one-sided.
one-sided.
About things, yeah.
Exactly. So an online education is good, but then the environment that you study in is very vital. It's
But
important.
then things like fees force you to resort to that, or not getting.
But which one
correct marks.
is much more expensive? You going to varsity or you learning online?
And like online is like quite really it's affordable.
For real?
Yeah.
Like you can.
Man.
In contrast to going to
I didn't know
varsity,
that. I
like
thought
campus
online was
yeah.
actually because they use
And you
high
do get a
technology
qualification,
online.
so it's like
yeah,
it's an option.
it's an option.
But doing that's one thing I told myself, man. If I'm gonna have to study online this
Yeah.
year, I'd rather not do it. But I wanna go to university and
times
be
are
present.
changing.
You know?
But times are really changing. You know, where
Something
everything.
now we
where everything's
Elon
just
Musk
going
is
digital.
probably thinking of something right now. Like, I want to change the world.
Speaking of Elon Musk,
Yeah,
did
yeah.
you guys hear about that WhatsApp thing? He made one comment about
He said people should
use
switch.
Signal, yeah.
Signal.
And everybody's going crazy, and
yeah.
What is Signal?
Signal is an app.
So
It's
they're
a-
like
yeah, it's
WhatsApp.
a social app.
But I just feel like all these apps are the same.
Mm.
Like your privacy is getting invaded anyway.
Anyways, yeah.
So
Nah,
like,
not really.
bruh, come on.
Because I mean,
Not-
if we look at
I
the-
just felt like people
Yeah.
are tripping because, for instance, a person like me,
yeah.
what possibly can you take from me that
Bro,
I want to
never know.
protect.
People have secrets.
Nah, what possibly can you take from me?
Dude.
I mean, there's potentiality in them keeping your information. Who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah, like
Now,
tell her
the
you're not
reason
involved.
they're keeping my information, for instance,
Yeah.
let's take a look at YouTube. The reason why they keep our data is because they try to know what can they recommend to us.
Mhm.
For instance, if I'm much more into
But
hip hop,
That's what
they are
say.
gonna recommend
True.
me to something which I like. It's the same with
Nah, bro, it's data
It's-
mining.
no. They're
Like-
trying to see how are people using these apps. Okay, for
Algorithms
me
and stuff.
personally, it doesn't matter.
Mm.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I got nothing to hide.
No.
I'm not making millions yet, so
It
what
Not
can I
yet.
be? Yeah,
Not yet.
I'm not making millions yet, but what can I
The
possibly
problem
have
is
on my
that
phone?
it's been happening.
Mhm.
Like we can't just now. Just
Bruv,
start
the
talking
government
about it.
knows
It's
exactly.
been
It's
there,
been
yeah.
a topic, yeah.
Yeah.
So, for me, it's just that thing of like
Exactly, the government knows exactly what you're up to.
Mhm.
data mining.
If and people
Yeah.
act as if they want to protect. We have people that post their lives on Instagram. If you can afford to post your life on Instagram, why not share your
Fake
data?
lives.
Yeah, basically.
But why not share your data? Because that's basically what you've been trying to show.
Yeah.
No, like I just.
And it's
like,
not even like they're gonna
It's-
use it to publish. They just keep
people.
it track.
I don't know. People added fuel to the fire when there was no fire.
Oh,
It's just that thing of like we're living in a generation whereby people feel like they beasts behind the phone, you know,
Yeah.
because they behind the phone. Nobody can see me. I'm gonna tweet this. I'm gonna write this.
Yeah.
But then face to face, I don't even give a damn about
Yeah.
what's happening. I'm just doing it just to get more retweets,
Mhm.
more followers. More,
Yeah.
You know, it's like that, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Most probably the person that retweeted that stuff or just is talking more about it doesn't even.
But that's
give
what I'm
a
saying.
crap about. what's
The
going
thing
on.
with these billionaires,
Yeah.
they rivals to each other. That's the reason why. Now I understand why Jay-Z is
That's how
not
life works.
using social
Survival of
media,
the
any
fittest.
of these social media.
Yeah.
For instance, if I'm selling an app
Yeah.
and you in the same business,
Yeah.
we're in competition.
Already.
If I'm on the billionaires list and you're a billionaire, we're in
That's why that
competition.
Facebook. Guy
That's the
bought all of
exactly.
them.
You see,
Yeah.
Mm.
that's the reason why I feel like, and my little brother told me about this. He was like, the reason why Elon Musk might have said that, it's because in the Tesla vehicle,
Mhm.
right, he's got these apps. He's okay. This was just my brother's opinion. He's like, maybe Elon Musk approached Mark to have WhatsApp or Facebook in the Tesla vehicle, and Mark was like, you need to give me more money. And then
But
since
apparently
it's going
he was
to
like
have
that.
Signal, the app Signal, in the Tesla vehicle, he's like, use Signal. That way, either way, who wins? Him and the Signal guys.
But apparently it's like the Mark Zuckerberg. Did I say it right?
Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, apparently they got
Zuckerberg.
Instagram like not in the legal ways because I think right now they're currently going to court on how they got
Bro,
Instagram.
think about it. Microsoft was about to buy TikTok. Who impacted it? Trump did.
Damn, Microsoft was about to
Well,
buy TikTok.
Yeah,
And
Microsoft
TikTok
and Mark were
was about to die.
fighting. They were fighting.
Wasn't TikTok about
Microsoft
to die
and
because of
Facebook.
the racial
No.
stuff?
It was about to die because Trump didn't want it to be in business with China. And TikTok is owned by the Chinese guys. So, and that's the reason why Huawei had to go on its own because
Yeah. Oh.
So,
it
can you
messed up
see the
everything.
impact that these guys can have on a whole
That Huawei thing messed up everything. Like
Yeah, yeah.
now you get a
Exactly.
Huawei and there's no Play Store.
Ex-
Like what?
It's because they have their own what do they call it, software system.
Yeah.
So that's the exact thing. They
Trying
have
to
their
be
own
an iPhone.
motives.
Why is it trying to be?
They're
an
trying to
iPhone?
make more money. Everybody's trying to make more
Exactly.
money. What do? They like, okay, since I got a beef with you,
Mm.
you're not going in my way, I'm not gonna use your app. Since I'm in competition with you, you don't want to. I'm not gonna do this with you.
Mm.
And that has basically been it, because people don't understand that fact.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
People don't understand that. That's how
But,
these people control us.
Mperu, if I get this right,
Mm-hmm.
it's not just the academic side too.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
So you have another side.
I have
right?
another side, yeah.
Of being an artist.
Of being an artist.
So is it like an alter ego thing or is it you?
It's me.
It's you.
That's just what it is. Like I came to this interview as Butlale, who's also a rapper. You know, I did not come to this interview
As Mperuhmorepha.
It's not like Clark Kent, you know, when you start rapping, you take off the glasses.
I rap with the glasses on. I jump on stage with the glasses on. That's what it is.
I thought like when you get on stage,
It's Superman.
I have shades, but then I just prefer seeing the audience.
Oh, okay.
You know, like I have dreadlocks and like Geluhid. I plait in my hair.
Oh, you have
so-
dreadlocks?
Yeah, I have dreadlocks. So I'm just gonna
Not the
like.
only one.
Unplait. You're not the only
he's
one.
not a rockstar, he's a rockstar.
Yeah, so that I'll just basically unplay my dreadlocks and just wave my
Okay,
hand every
vibe
time,
with the
you know.
people.
So
Yeah.
speaking
How
about
long
your
have you been
music,
growing yours?
Yeah, for about 16 years, but I'll just keep on cutting them short.
how long have you been
Oh, yeah,
doing
okay,
music?
so you cut and
Like I would
crush
just
again,
I would sell my dreadlocks.
and then you crush.
How much do you sell it for?
Like for
Yeah, they're expensive, bro.
For-
like I would sell them
How
for
much?
400.
To
Yeah,
who?
like they make
To
money.
your friends?
Family.
Damn.
You can
Yeah.
even sell them to.
I don't want anybody's hair
Like
on my
potential
head.
customers, yeah.
I don't want anybody's hair on my head.
Bro, people do want like.
Just grow
There
them
was,
yourself.
I think it was last of last year when
Yeah.
dreads were really the end thing. Everybody wanted
Yeah.
dreads. Like, oh,
Yeah,
like
so true.
everyone. So
Yeah.
people are selling dreads like crazy.
Nah, that's
Mhm.
crazy. Speaking about your music side.
Sure.
Respect music. Don't be like music side.
Speaking about the music.
Speaking about your music,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
On the project, Blue, is it Blue? BLEU.
EU. I think
Yeah,
it's pronounced in French. Yeah, that translates to
Blur.
Where?
Blur.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
didn't know I had to read it in French. Okay, it's Blur.
Yeah.
So, on the song "If You Wanna,"
Yeah.
you refer to the there's a lyric that actually stood out to me, and I wanted to ask you about it.
Sure.
You say it said you win some, you lose some. That's judgmental payment. Is
Yeah.
that how you see? Is that how you see things if they don't go your way?
Well, at that time, that's how I saw things. You know, like not everything is gonna come your way. You know, you can only win certain battles, and you know that was like back in 2015-16.
Yeah.
Around the time when I was in high school, I was deputy head boy. You know, I was chess captain. I did the most extramurals ever in my years at high school in that year, and I went on to like play chess for Tswani later, just after exams, final exams. So you know,
the pressure.
the
like,
pressure was
struggle.
on. I was doing my Stefford.
Hey.
Like, bro, there was like anything in culture I was doing. My Stefford,
Crazy,
creating, public
man.
speaking, choir, a cappella, the works, drama
Are you
club.
serious?
Bro, I was
So
like,
you're out here.
He was in
I was
everything.
everywhere, bro.
They say women can multitask, but I mean,
Yeah, bro, I was
Bro.
multitasking. Bro.
They're gonna come for you.
I was
They're gonna come
multitasking,
for
bro.
you. They're gonna come.
So
for you.
around that time, man, I was just really caught up everywhere. You know, I just wanted to excel at all these things, and my academics were taking a knock. You know, like not that high standard that I would
So your
normally
marks were
push.
impacted
My marks
from
were-
grade 11 till matric, or from grade 8.
From matric, grade 8, 9, 10. I was doing okay.
So from
Come
grade
on.
7 to grade 8.
You know,
okay.
I feel like if your child is struggling in grade 8,
Yeah.
you should start looking at other things for the child. Like academics is not maybe the right way for him.
No, but then
No cap, bro.
nah,
like,
there's people that actually improved from grade 8.
grade 8.
Yeah.
He's struggling in grade 8, my
Yeah.
guy.
We have people personally in our school in grade 8 that weren't part of the top team.
I know someone who like was failing in grade 8
Exactly.
and went on to
And in
finish in
matric,
top 10.
they're
matric.
part of the top 10's
Wow.
top achievers for the subject.
I'm
So it's
giving
not-
them a hand.
Yeah.
I would have been
It's like-
like,
it's
vibes,
hard work.
I know
bro.
that person personally.
Damn.
I also know a person personally.
Yeah.
I know.
We probably
more.
might be talking about the same person.
Yeah,
because we
probably.
come from Bursley. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm also from Perth.
You're also from Bursley too. Yeah, he's from Bursley.
No, but he's not from Berkeley like
I'm-
we're from Berkeley.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Y'all
yeah, y'all are
finished together.
Bechlians. What is it?
Bechlianas.
Bechlianas. I
Oh,
don't even
Bursley
know that
Bulldogs.
stuff,
They're all
bro.
bulldogs. You just say bulldogs.
This
the
guy was
animal.
never. He was never.
I was never part of that culture, no
You're
lie.
never part of
I
the culture,
hated
yeah.
that schools, no cap. Like I just felt oppressed. By the way,
Oppressed?
yeah, the school is very oppressing. You get in there. I used to come from a school called Sesha King.
Okay.
It's very
So you're one of those cheese kids.
no. It's a private school, but it's not really like it was a. You didn't feel like there was, like picking sides in the school or like some sort of. You didn't feel like there was people who are superior to you, you know. But then you get into Berkeley, it's like different, you know, like how they treat other kids.
Nah, but I
no,
feel
hold
like-
on, I'm not done.
Yeah.
I don't want to go into the race thing because everybody's always playing the race card.
Mhm.
But it's that thing in Bursley whereby nobody's equal. There's people that are always higher than you just for doing one
Nah,
thing.
that's
No,
we
there's
allow
a kid
it
that
to
would-
happen.
Would play sport and I would not do sport
Nah,
and then
come
get
on.
special privileges.
I never had that personally. It never impacted.
You've never had that.
It never.
Oh,
It
yes,
never.
oh,
It
you've
never
never experienced
moved me.
that,
Yeah.
Haven't you experienced that?
I made my own
Haven't you
lane.
ever felt like because somebody did something that
Nah.
you didn't do?
I
like, y'all both
knew. I
qualified
was
for that
aware.
thing.
I was aware
Well,
of
They
the
gave
fact
it to
that
that person.
I was aware of the fact that
Okay,
favoritism was
to-
favored.
Okay, there was favoritism present,
Yeah.
but to answer your question, I never really experienced that in the sense that there'll be people that do sport, you know, they would get the
Yeah.
recognition for sport. I'm like, fine, these people out here getting the recognition for
About
sport.
my kid.
Wow. And
Abo who?
Michael.
You name shaming now.
No. I'm just saying a typical
A typical name.
Was there Michael?
There wasn't like.
There was a Michael.
Wait, which Michael was there?
I can't say the surname. 'Cause
Exactly.
Now I'll be.
Okay,
I'll be-
let's-
I'll be-
Which evidence is there? That
Yeah,
there's a
let's
Michael?
go with Josh.
All right, let's move right. Yeah, let's move right along.
You
So,
need to stop.
okay, let's move. All right, let's move. So,
You need to stop.
so from my perspective,
Bro.
I was thankful enough
Yes.
to make it as deputy head boy of culture. You know,
Yeah.
I wasn't really disappointed that I didn't get the head boy post, like the head boy post. I'm not surprised that I didn't.
But
get it.
you worked more than the guy that was here.
He felt.
Yeah.
You see,
Like,
he
I
felt
felt
he was
as if-
more deserving.
Like, not that I was more deserving, but I just put in the work. I
since
took care.
you were a student
I
at
took
his
care of.
time,
Yeah, at my time,
How
I
do you
took care.
feel?
How do I
Okay.
feel?
Yeah.
Was
I
he
took-
working
Personally,
with
I
the-
felt like he was the head boy when I walked into Varsity because he stood out from
Why was he
all
not
the
the head boy?
BKs, from all the prefects. He was the one standing
Why was
out.
you not the head boy?
I don't know. I can't.
Favoritism.
No, I can't
well,
say that.
Okay, to answer your question, the reason why I think or why the
Yeah.
panel thought I wasn't, good enough to be head boy was because, the other candidates or the prevailing candidate just had more sporting recognition, especially nationally. And just in that sense,
But you had more leadership qualities.
I had more leadership qualities. I was also good in
It
culture.
don't make sense, bruh.
Yeah, no, it don't make sense. But then everything is just looked at. But I
That's
wasn't
how
really.
Bursley works.
Yeah,
Nah, come
that's
on.
just
That's how the
it
system
That's how the
is.
system would.
The
normally
system
work.
is rigged, bro.
Yeah, and back at Bursley there was just really a competitive nature.
Yeah.
Like, okay, if this person is thriving in sport, now I'm gonna thrive in my culture. That's
Oh,
why I never.
yeah.
That's why I never thought of someone doing sport as like, oh man, they're doing sport.
But
Also,
I
this
think
thing
it's-
of Marula and Senin and stuff.
That thing, yeah, that's how.
Wow.
But that was fun.
That was inter-house, yeah, inter-house.
was fun.
That was a culture. I
Yeah.
actually did athletics in 2015, but then I actually made it to the inter-house team. But then I lost interest because the chess season was starting,
Oh,
and
just guy.
You had
and
to
I was just like,
prioritize.
I was just like,
Priority.
the pieces are calling me, and I'm getting
Hey,
tired from
hey.
the pieces. I'm here.
The
I'm here.
pieces.
The
how we do.
pieces.
Yeah, I gotta move my king forward. You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
Straight.
That's what it is. That's
Don't
what it
forget
is.
the queen.
Don't forget the queen too. The queen is
She's
powerful.
there. She's there.
She's the most powerful piece in the game.
She's there. Mus.
Queen.
There's a queen in the game.
There's a queen in the game.
Look at the way the conversation
I see where this is
shifted.
going. He's trying to
Exactly,
twist
he's
it.
trying to twist things.
Yeah, man. But with regards to like a
yeah.
queen in the game, I'm still working things out. But
Okay.
that will be announced at a later stage. But
But
yeah.
there's a queen. Did you just say that?
How MJ? Hey, you are
MJ.
lost.
Let's
You are
just say
lost.
routine. Let's just say that the fire is starting to come through.
Oh, the fire's starting to
Sweet.
burn.
Yeah, starting to
Mm,
burn, starting to burn. Yeah,
Okay.
but yeah, in all honesty, if an individual is to just really look at how the struggle has been shaped, it is just a case of, you feel as if the back is against the wall because of finances, where you come from. And by all means, just note one important thing: comparison is not motivation. Just for one thing.
Okay.
Just it's a common quote.
No,
It's
no.
not-
Can you
But
please repeat that?
Comparison. Let me repeat it for you. Let me repeat it for
Repeat
you.
it for us.
No,
Okay, then I'd rather say it's not a phrase that I came up with. It's a quote from somewhere. I saw it.
Yeah.
he's
Comparison is not motivation.
Oof.
That's just the truth. And
But
I
I
feel
feel-
like that's what people struggle with, especially incoming first years when they go to varsity. They're like, no, my friends are passing and I'm struggling. That's the problem. Whose degree is it?
It's my degree.
That's the thing.
But the thing is, now
Yeah.
it also comes down to that thing of like your parents end up comparing.
Yeah.
They'll
Nah,
be
but
like,
That's normally the culture.
Mara
Parents compare.
Katla
Nah,
was
but
doing
look,
this.
Gata was doing this.
Yeah, doing that.
It'll
Nah,
do
but
this.
my parents are okay.
Mm.
They stopped being like that over the numbers of.
Oh,
years.
and yeah. That's
But like with
But-
most families, it's like
Referring
that.
to
Yeah.
just what you said is most of us is, especially the youth out here,
Sure.
we are faced with a number of problems where we don't have things to run to. We have things to run from. And that becomes a problem
Yeah.
while trying to chase a career that you want to be invested in the career, but you're running from another maybe,
You're releasing so much dopamine that you end up not producing enough dopamine.
or
Alternatively,
you're facing
yeah.
so much problems.
Yeah.
For instance, you just refer to
Desire.
people being unable to afford university.
Yeah.
You refer to parents not being able to, be there for the, and that impacts us in a way, in some sense.
Yeah.
We don't have things to run to anymore.
Yeah.
Before we used to run, when we think about it, in retrospect, we think about it, I want a Ferrari,
Mm-hmm.
I want a Bugatti.
Mm-hmm.
We had things to run to.
Mm-hmm.
And now we like, damn,
But we're running from the work that we try
if
to
I don't
Yeah.
go after the career I want,
Yeah.
I'm gonna sleep with hunger.
I just feel
I'm
like
gonna
it's
turn
how
out to be a nobody, and everybody's gonna make it. And where
the
am I
world
going
is
to be?
polluted with negativity.
Mm-hmm.
Whereby as like you go out, it's like everything is just so negative and tense.
Exactly.
You go out, you just see a billboard of a woman that's maybe thin. As a
Mhm.
girl seeing that, they just like, that's the perfect way of living.
Mm-hmm.
Or you go out, you see your brother smoking.
And
That's the cool way of
over
living.
the number of
You
years,
know,
we've
You know,
instilled
you
these
go out,
ideas
there's
in
social
us.
media. People are just like, okay, that's how people live life. I need to
They're
get more
selling
followers.
the life.
Yeah,
Exactly.
so
That
it's,
IG life.
it's the world is just so
They are-
negative right
we,
now.
we,
at
we
this point.
chase
It's
it, we
crazy.
start chasing things,
Mm-hmm.
but in the end, everything is vanity.
Everything is vanity.
We don't even know what we stand for. We lose ourselves
Sanity.
trying to get something else.
True.
That it's not even us. And this leads me to the next point. Just with the COVID situation and everything, that will impact the mental health, especially of our youth. And I wanted to make this point to say that the next global pandemic will be the mental health of people who has been affected by COVID or who was impacted by that.
Yes, in some way, yeah.
Because we've already having 2,000 suicides in a month.
In a month.
That's too much to bear. It
Already.
means people are killing themselves because, for instance,
Straight.
if I'm a youngin that's like, for instance, I'm turning 20 years old this year.
Yeah.
Big two.
If my
Big
breadwinner, if my breadwinner
Mm.
commits suicide,
Where
who
do you
am I?
go?
Where do I go?
Mm.
Where do I even start?
Where do you begin?
So it's just,
It's crazy.
for instance, my parents lost their job. Okay, no, it's an example.
It's an
For
example.
instance, my parents loses their job,
Mhm.
and I can't afford to go to varsity.
You know?
All my friends are going to varsity. All my friends are doing this. All my friends are doing that. All my friends. It all just starts to,
It
it
plays
affects
against
you
Yeah.
exactly.
your chain of thinking.
But
And I don't
it
have.
also comes down to the point whereby there's no role models anymore. You know,
Yeah.
like there's no.
We don't have that perfect role model that
Yeah,
we
they-
used to have.
Yeah, or even in the household, especially in SA households, there's
Yeah.
not a lot of father figures. Even
True.
if there's a father figure, he's not really playing the father role.
The father role. If
Yeah.
anything, the mother is playing both roles.
Both
Exactly.
roles. So it's
Yeah.
it's that crazy that bad. It's like it's how the culture
And-
has grown up.
And this,
Yeah.
It's even still going on. You know, even to this day, you're still getting people that are like, well, I'm 18, my father wasn't there for me, I'm gonna make a child and do the same thing.
You see.
You know, it's like
people
it's
are not
crazy.
looking to better themselves. And this just reminds me of a lyric of McMill. He says, I think it's on the Dream Chaser.
Okay.
He says, Daddy saved me. What? Daddy saved me. What? My mama what? My daddy couldn't raise me.
Mm-hmm.
Daddy saved me, so he couldn't raise me. Technically, what? And that's one thing we're seeing nowadays in each and every family.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's the dad saves you
Yeah.
by providing the finance,
Mhm.
by providing a roof over your head, but he's not there to raise you.
Yeah, not showing the love that he needs to show.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like that all keeps having a mental effect, a mental.
Yeah.
You know, it impacts us in one way or the other. In one way or the other, it comes down to the thing that I said, and I'm gonna repeat it again. We don't have something to run to. We start having something to run from.
And it's that thing you trapped subconsciously. You feel enslaved to your own conscience.
True.
Because it's like you're not living healthy.
Yeah.
Because in these times we're living in, like, everything is just so bound to who you are and not what you are, you know. It's about who you are now, you know, and everybody's just trying to be that somebody, not be themselves.
And I think that goes even to, we can even take it as further as the conversation of gender-based violence, why there's so many males abusing females. It just goes back to the household.
Of the father not being.
It just goes back to the, I remember we had, I think the title of the podcast was Don't Big As Up. I had a conversation with Mpoyi, and the conversation was that the uncle, she said if the dad is not there, then a male figure within the family should help the child, should teach the child, should nurture the child and teach them the correct way of dealing with women or dealing around women. And that goes back to the fact that most of us, for instance, we don't see our uncles that often. Or we don't look to our uncles to be like, okay.
Or they too selfish,
you know?
to even care. Because as humans, we selfish beings, you know, to solve the most. Like, it's about,
it just impacts.
you came here alone, in your mindset you're probably like, I'm gonna die alone, so I might as well be selfish, you know.
Yeah.
Just do.
And it's a good thing to be selfish, but at some things it's like,
This conversation went
Cost
south.
benefit analysis. It just went.
It just
It
went
went
south.
It went
Yeah,
deep.
man.
It went deep, but you know,
But-
it just leaves people with those things.
You know,
yeah, some things we
but
need to
just
talk
what
about.
I just wanted to put it out there, because
Yeah.
Because if you don't talk about them, then who is?
this mental thing is going to be the next thing. And we used to think people are going to study. What do people study? What is it? Is it therapy? What are those guys? Psychology.
Psychology.
We actually going to need them.
Yeah. We're going
We
to
actually going
Social
to need them.
workers.
Social
Yeah.
workers. We are going to need them. Finally,
Even
going
kids,
to need
this
them.
corona thing, I just feel like kids are now trapped inside
Bro.
houses.
True.
As a kid, that just makes you antisocial. I'm talking from experience. Being trapped inside a house. Not that I was forced by people
To
not
stay
a,
inside
not a
and go.
pandemic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Stay
saying?
dope.
But
Yeah.
that thing just it destroys a social thing in you. Like in terms of how you react to people. Like some sort of things I'd act remorseful, but it's not on purpose. I just don't know how to react. You tell me your mother died and I just look at you. You know, it's that type of
That's deep.
situation.
Yeah, it's deep.
There's the about you look at
No.
somebody, your mother died, and I just look at you.
It's that thing of like I don't know how to react. It's not in me. It's just like that's how I am. But I'm adjusting. I'm trying to get to be like, oh, okay. You know, I don't know how to do that. I'm not that guy that's gonna feel.
It's just tough
Mhm.
within these times. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope we redeem ourselves with something. I don't know. They create more jobs. They try to
Yeah.
solve. They try to bring up something because
Politicians are the biggest liars, bro.
And that's really bad. And also, that also reminds me, by the way, if you are pursuing a passion, you know, I feel that it is quite vital to back it up with some form of education, particularly now because COVID has really taught us that, you know, COVID has really taught us that, you know, as much as we can pursue passions relentlessly, it's gonna hold us it's gonna fortify us. But you know, this is just the point that I'm making. You can have like a
Can I talk on that?
jump in.
So, what you're saying is that if I have a passion,
Yeah.
from your opinion,
Yeah.
I have a passion.
Yeah.
I shouldn't just pursue that passion alone. I should have something to back it up.
Alternatively, it's based on how you think about it,
It should
as an
be like
individual.
No, I just
It should be like that.
you
but
can't
then-
rely on.
let me just say,
Yeah.
if you have a passion,
Yeah.
you're gonna work hard to be the best at it. And don't you feel if you're the best in your field?
Sometimes.
No, hold up. I'm not done. If you're working so hard, like hard work always has results. Don't cap.
Sure.
Like you're not gonna work hard all your life and just, you know, if you're gonna work hard to be the best at what you do because you love it, there's no way you'll not make it. No way. I guarantee.
But
There's
you
no
have to look at
way.
it this way. Sometimes your calling might not be your calling. You might be called.
That's
to,
when you need to know.
You
the
might
difference
feel
between
as if
passion
no.
and then what's
you might feel as if
desire.
Desire.
You might feel as if
Distinction between the two.
Yeah.
yeah, but a lot of people don't.
Yeah. But alternatively, if you just wish to pursue your passion on its own, that's how you feel. If you have a clear-cut plan, if you know that you've done your research, you've done
Exactly.
what you need to do, you know who to speak to, who your connections are, who you're working with, then that is perfectly fine. If you feel that will take you to where you want to be.
But
and
I
how
just feel
long
like the problem is
Yeah.
why most people don't make it is that they already have a plan B. There's already doubts.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, okay, I want, this is plan A, Mara. Now I gotta have a plan B in order in case the plan A doesn't work.
Plan
You've
A
already
doesn't work.
failed before you even start.
Started.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
instead of
true.
having a plan B, maybe have a plan B to push plan A.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, true.
Or
You
push
know.
both plans.
Speaking
If
of,
you're that guy.
If you're that guy, just push both plans. I mean, who's
Yeah.
to say
Who's to
that
say
you
that-
can't?
yeah, yeah.
Like, I mean,
Yeah.
if you had to choose between like bacon and cheese, why can't you pick both? Who's to say you can't pick
hey,
both?
bigger than cheese.
If you're like bacon or
Coming
cheese,
up.
why can't I take both?
Yeah, straight up.
Yeah.
I bet
I hear where you're coming from.
Speaking
Exactly.
of passion, would you say music was your passion,
I would say.
or did you
music still-
just grow?
Yeah, I grew
You just-
into it and made it a passion, you know, because I listened to hip hop like around 5 years old with my uncle, and you know, my uncle he loves listening to hip hop, so I would listen to it and then.
How old
Hip
is
hop
your
or
uncle?
rap?
I think he's like going close to 40 now.
But you
Oh,
listen
okay,
to
that's why he
hip-hop
was
or rap?
listening to hip hop.
Okay, well, hip hop and rap,
Okay.
you know, in that sense. So just getting to understand the lyric, you know,
Okay.
like the
breaking
beauty of the
down
beat
genre. Oh.
and the lyric coming together. So as I was a prefect in Mpoyi primary, as I was coming to a close there, I'd start writing.
So
And-
this thing of yours of being a prefect, a hit boy, it was from a young age.
It's been for
it's been for
some
long.
things are just
So
meant
you
to be,
leadership-
know.
Yeah, man. Even now, I was in house comm, so
Damn.
leadership is still a thing for me. I was actually holding 6 leadership positions last year.
Man.
6.
6,
Man.
6. Like
Bruh.
I would love to go into them, but I don't want to waste time. So let's
Hey, going to them.
Okay,
Flex on us.
fine. So last year I was the community engagement rep of
Number
my race.
one.
Number 2, I was the environmental rep.
Does
also for
these?
my race.
Can I just stop you there? Does these positions, do they come with the number of years that you have done in varsity?
No.
Can I be a first
No.
year and have all of
You
those
can
positions?
even be. This is how it works. If you are to be in house comm, let me speak for Rhodes. I don't know how the other universities work. If you are to come through at Rhodes and be a first year, and let's say house comm has a vacant position, and they feel that you're enthusiastic enough, you will be nominated, and if the house agrees and votes you in, you will take it.
And is it harder to stand out in varsity? Because it's not like high school where there was just 1,000 people.
Yeah.
You know, in
It's
varsity
a bigger
where-
population.
Where there's like,
Yeah.
over 3,000 plus. You know?
Yeah,
You know, that's why I was just really feeling scared. I'm like, oh no, what now? You know, because like back at Berkeley, when I was still at Berkeley, I think we were like 1,200. Now I'm going to university, which is the smallest in the country, but 8,002. 8,200.
Yeah.
6,009 being undergraduates, 1.3 being postgraduates. I'm just like, still big numbers out here.
No, wait.
Damn.
Did you say 1.3 bring? So that means there's a decline in people that
So-
start up and finish up.
Exactly.
No, wait, no, I said 1,300 are postgraduates.
Oh,
they're
oh,
pursuing
okay,
like
okay,
honors,
okay,
masters,
okay,
PhD,
okay,
and
okay.
other secondaries. So 8,200 now. I'm like, okay, fine. How exactly will I do my own thing? How will I just be that person? And and obviously when you come to varsity, people are gonna just try and throw you off. You're gonna want to fit in, and like varsity.
People as in being your friend, they're your friends or just
potential friends and people in general. But then it's all about who you choose. You just stick to being you, be authentic, do not change for anyone, do not be sorry for how you feel. And
Do not be sorry for how you
like if you want to express how you feel, say it with your chest, speak the truth.
Speak your
with
mind.
chest.
say
Speak
it
your
with
mind.
your chest.
Say it with your chest. Basically. So, someone who doesn't drink or smoke, I'm a straight edge rapper, by the way, I'm a straight edge individual, So, obviously
Finding a new age type of rap.
new age type of rap. So, basically I'm the type of rapper who'd rap about love, rap about the hustle. If I am to lie about something in my raps, I'd either tell you or just lie.
So you're
Straight up.
basically a storyteller.
I'm a storyteller.
Every
that's
rapper,
basically-
I think
No.
musician is a storyteller.
Okay, let's just say there's good storytellers and there's bad
Bad
storytellers.
storytellers.
You get Shakespeare's and then you get
Romeo's.
That guy next
Roald
door.
Dahl. You know, I hated
Okay.
his books. I'm sorry for people who okay, but like, do you know his books, right?
I know of the author, not the books.
Yeah, his
Yeah.
books was so.
Yeah, let's not go there.
Let's not go there. But yeah, you know, like, I mean, coming to the university environment, obviously, you will come across like just having to change for, you know, for the sake of fitting in. But you just stand up and be the best person that you are in any way possible. Seek advice, and you know, be the best that you can be, regardless. And if you are to find yourself, and if you are to find yourself failing academically, that's perfectly fine. The real failure would be you just leaving and just forgetting everything. If you are to quit,
why?
remember where you started, basically.
Okay, how long have you been studying?
I've been studying for 4 years at varsity, and you know, it was actually a 3-year degree, but the reason why I took 4 instead of 3 years was because you know, law was not what I expected it to be, and
So-
leaving law
Yeah.
was the result. It was really
So-
painful.
How much have you spent during these 4 years?
How much have I spent money wise?
Yeah, like on fees and stuff.
fees.
And there's
Yeah,
Okay,
well,
estimation.
well over 400k.
400k.
Well over 400.
So what if
like 420, if not 430.
okay, let's do like just 400k to 100k a year.
100k, yeah.
So
basically, yeah.
let's say instead of you going to school, your parents are like, here's the money, go pursue music.
But you have to
what do you think
understand.
you'd be?
You are-
No, I want to ask a question.
No, that's a good question. That's a good question.
Yeah, what do you think you'd be? Do you think you'd be in a better position, or would it still be the same?
I feel like, you know, as a musician, I'd be a rapper. I'd be a whole lot bigger, significantly. I would
With the
just
money.
be
You
with the
need
money,
the
of
money
course.
to be.
And yeah, you know, like the money will basically finance
cash
what you're
injection,
pursuing,
yeah.
a cash injection. So
Because if
yeah.
you're making music is an art as a whole. The clothes you're wearing are supposed to match the music you're giving off.
true.
The car you're driving,
But-
the lifestyle you're living is supposed to
look,
reflect
J.
on you as a
Cole,
whole.
J. Cole
Like, that's
doesn't
what
need,
Ace of Rock
J. Cole
said.
looks simple.
Okay, J. Cole looks.
But that's his
simple, yeah.
music. Also, his music is simple and authentic. It hits. It's raw.
Yeah.
It's
Oh.
uncut, bro.
And also, you're just really feeding the craft. I mean, we can talk about clothes and whatnot. You know,
Yeah.
like I just basically. There's a quote from one of these rappers, one of my homies, Gobo Slick. He was like, "I don't." In a song where even I featured, he was like, "I don't drip, but I dress cool." I feel like I'm just that
Oh.
person.
I don't trip, but I dress
Yeah,
cool.
Gobo Slick. He actually has
That's
an EP
me. I
that's
don't
out.
drip, but I dress
It's like
cool.
Live Training Days. It's on SoundCloud. Check it out.
Hey,
So
I love
yeah,
it.
so basically he was like, I don't drip, but I dress cool. And I'm like, I'm a person with just an okay fashion sense, you know. And as a straight edge rapper, I just define who I am, you know. And
Oh.
basically with the cash injection, I feel like it would be very significant to have that much money pushing into your passion and then getting that money back, because that's the whole idea. You're not making music for free.
Because now you're in a
Yeah.
school and you're out here, you're paying money for education,
Yeah.
then boom, you finish, you
But-
don't get a job.
But how sure?
that
are
money
you?
just went down the
No,
drain.
but you have to
No, let's
understand.
look at the unemployment rate. We talking about numbers.
Yeah.
The numbers don't lie, bro.
Numbers don't lie.
But you have to
No,
understand.
it's
people are
56%,
unemployed.
bro.
You have to look at the reason why people are unemployed.
No, we talking about people that got an education being unemployed.
I'm
That's
unemployed.
serious.
Then
bro.
there's-
Exactly.
No, come on, you just finished with varsity, bro.
Officially.
No,
yeah,
but
I,
he
yeah,
could
I'm
have got a
officially.
job in his
officially.
second year, right?
Well,
But if you
not
were,
necessarily.
that's
I'm
because
still,
he's still going.
No,
to
I was
study.
unemployed at some stage. I was employed rather at some stage
You
in
see?
my varsity. I was actually employed by Rhodes in my first year.
No, what happened?
No, it was like a short term
It
thing.
was a short.
But
then
vacant
I-
job.
But then what I did also, I just went looking for another job as a chess coach, and I got that job. And actually, by the way, I actually
Chess
went.
coach.
I actually went to that school, and I was like, hey, I'm a chess player. I recently performed well at the South African Wildcards, and I might be going to Commonwealth in India. Unfortunately, I didn't go because I didn't get funding, and around that time I was doing my exams, so I just forgot about the whole thing. I was like, nah, I would like to be a chess coach at your school. No post whatsoever that was open. I just went there and threw myself at the school, got the post, got money, and yeah, you know, everything just came. So if you really want something, go
and you
pursue
know how
it.
crazy it is?
Yeah.
You'd never get such an education in school. They never tell you Jorge, you can actually go out of your way and be like, okay, what's a job that I can do and offer
Nah,
to a
but-
person
no,
rather
but
than
that's
go
what is
learn for
happening
it.
now.
Nah, we're not taught that in schools.
Come on,
You're not
that's what
taught
is
how to
happening.
make money.
No, in
Are
LO,
you taught how to
no,
make money in school?
we're not taught. I'm
Don't
not saying.
lie.
I'm
Nah,
Nah, I
not.
feel like LO
listen,
is a loss.
Hear me out.
Exactly.
LO is a loss.
Yeah.
Hear me out.
Yeah.
It's
When
a
we
choice
go
of
to
you never
LO,
need
they tell us to choose what we're good at. They
Okay.
don't tell us to do what our parents
They don't
tell
tell
us.
you how to make money though.
They're not supposed to tell you to make money.
Alright. Okay.
They tell you get a job. That's how
Okay,
you make
True.
money.
They teach you to work for somebody. Nobody teaches you how to work for yourself.
No, but
Yeah, there's this
Yeah,
like
true.
this other investor, I forgot his name. Like he's this like motivational speaker. He was like, "How will you be rich if your lecturers themselves aren't?"
Exactly.
You see,
who's
so,
that? Robert Kiyosaki.
I don't know. He's,
Is it like
he's
Japanese
Asian?
or
He's
Korean?
Asian.
Yes, that's
Robert
Robert
Kiyosaki.
Kiyosaki.
I don't know.
He's
I
the guy
I think that might be him.
They're-
That
Definitely.
retired and then said,
Yeah.
I don't get why people retire because this is boring. I need to
Yeah.
get back to work.
You
That's
see,
true.
so that's just what it is. You know, I feel like LO in itself is a loss. I actually saw a Facebook post that was like, "Nah, forget LO. Teach people how to, you know, learn about financial literacy
Exactly,
and the
yeah.
K53." You know.
Yeah.
Because I mean, think about it. We are just studying for K53s independently if we wanted to, but then I feel like if you had to learn it in school and then just
It would
continue,
make things so
you
much
just
easier.
know the rules.
But
of
they
the
can't
rules.
teach
Or even give us woodwork.
They
as
can't
a
teach you
subject.
that. They can't teach
You
you
know,
that.
Yeah.
Because now you're gonna learn how not to pay taxes.
Okay, there's that, but then if they are to teach you how not to pay taxes, you need to learn the consequences of not having to pay taxes.
Nah, but for instance, for a
So
person
you're
like
saying-
Jay-Z,
so you're saying
for
we
a
should-
person like Jay-Z, he doesn't pay tax.
So you're saying we should keep the poor people poor? Is that
I'm
is
not
that what
saying
you're
that. I'm saying that's
No,
the
no, that's
system.
what you say.
No, I'm not
You
saying
implying
that.
that.
I'm saying that's what the
You
system
implying
is.
that.
No.
You're saying the system is doing right by letting the people, the poor
I'm
people,
not saying
the
it's doing
uneducated
right.
people stay uneducated.
No, that's not. That's not.
What are you
Okay,
saying?
then enlighten us.
And
What
yeah,
I'm saying
give
is
us your view.
that's the system. That's how the system is.
And you believe in the system.
I don't want to.
Do you or do you not believe in the system?
I don't believe in the system.
How do
I don't believe in the system,
In the
but
sense that
I don't want to challenge it because I know the consequences that it comes with.
no? That's why we still here.
No, for instance, I'm always big on investments, right?
alright.
But I've never tried challenging the system. That's because I know that all I have to do is get to a certain level and start paying taxes. You have to put in work.
There'll always be somebody bigger than you.
So, but imagine you talking about earning money, you're talking about earning millions, but you don't have a simple
No,
job.
like MJ, what I'm suggesting is like give people an education. It'll be up to them if they wanna take it.
Or not.
It's simple.
But
It's
he's-
not really we give
the knowledge
everybody
is
the
there.
knowledge of
the
man.
knowledge
It's
is
not that you
there.
have to acquire it yourself, my
No,
guy.
you have to look for it.
Am I lying?
If you look for it, you'll find
If
it.
you're in a school, you trapped. You in a box. You taught
I
to
don't
think in a
trust it.
certain way. You taught to behave in a certain way.
I don't trust
You
it.
told that you have to attend periods at a certain time. Things like that. They affect you and how you think. Okay, you do this. There's consequences. That's a way of.
But that's the
changing
way of
your-
life.
No.
You
That's a
you
way
have
of-
got to know
of
that
showing
your
you how
action has
that's
got
done.
consequences.
No. This is the way
That's
of
a way
them
of
showing you
life.
how
A way
life
of
will-
being.
Bro, there's people that have hacked life.
No, you can't try to cheat life. You can't if you try to fight this what does J. Cole say? If you try to if you try to fight the system's gonna corner you. What does he say in that song? I don't know the song, but he says something like that.
Something of that nature.
So
Exactly.
challenging the system, basically, you're gonna fail.
You're gonna get cornered by the system.
So if I try to challenge the system and say
I'm not
people should
saying
be taught
I'm not
to work
saying
this
don't
way,
try to challenge the
thing is-
system. Don't try to challenge the system in the perspective of which you have of the system. That
no, the system is bad.
no,
I
that's
hate
gonna
the
get
system.
you're gonna get yourself hurt.
But should we like? Does that justify the system?
It does.
Its ways. Is it correct? Like, is it fine to see more black people run out of jobs, not be able to pay for their fees, not get a quality education? Is it fair? Is it okay for the system
I think
that you
the
think is
question you
doing
should
right?
be asking, the question you should be rather asking is, what are the youth of today doing about that system? What are you doing?
I'm challenging the system, bruh. I wanna
Don't
run
try
for
to challenge
president.
the system.
But that's
Our
like
our
later
parents or the guys before us tried to challenge the system.
on. What happens then?
There is, I think, 7 black people that are billionaires in the whole world. 7 black people that are billionaires. They didn't try to challenge the system. They knew how the system works. They learned the system.
Basically,
they
they
worked
challenged
around
the
it.
system.
No. You
They
can't.
didn't know what you did.
How do you challenge
learn how
something
it
that you
works.
work around?
You learn how it works so you can beat the system. That's a challenge.
If you say that.
It is.
If you say that. I agree to disagree.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
let's
feel like
just
that's what it
leave it
is. I
at
feel
that.
like that's what it is.
I agree to disagree because you can't challenge.
If you're gonna learn about something, you're basically challenging it.
But
It's like if
that's-
you're gonna write a
that's
test.
how it's
If you're gonna write a
Wake up.
test, you study. It's a challenge.
You
It's an
challenge
ordeal.
yourself to think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Okay, I feel you.
No,
too.
no, no.
Do you agree with that?
Nah, well, basically.
I
that's
feel
what it
you.
is.
There's two
But-
sides to a coin at the end of the day.
I agree to disagree
Yeah.
because for me personally,
MJ is for the system, I'm against the system.
no, I'm not for the system.
Alright.
I abide by the system.
Crazy. I'll never do that. I'm
Ah.
rebellious by nature, and that's just it.
That's just it. Do you have any
That's
questions,
a
bro?
problem.
Any lingering questions on your mind?
What question about the system?
No,
Nah,
about
better the rap.
podcast. You know, podcast.
Oh, about the podcast. Okay,
Mm.
lingering question. So speaking about the life in thingy, what other challenges did you face being in varsity?
Being in varsity.
Was the first year your only challenge, or how did you deal with the life of partying? Because we see people that have gone before us.
Yeah.
Let me not say gone before us. That's
They never came
yeah,
back.
you
They
know.
never came back.
It's swallowed
It's like
It consumed them.
exactly.
Yeah.
They go to varsity. It's party 24/7.
You know,
It's
the life of the
you
party.
know they hosting parties now. Some of I remember I went to primary with one of these guys and now I was found attending their own event. I'm like, what? This is what you're doing. This is what you're doing. Aren't you supposed to be in school? And
Oh.
even though they're making money, if that's what stands for TEPO, for challenging the system, I don't know.
Challenge this. No,
If that's
I'm
what you
saying,
meant by challenging the
I want to
system.
change the system. We should teach people how to make money.
But
We should innovate.
For
people.
them, they're
it's not
making
always.
money.
It's not always about the book. You can teach people skills in school. Like instead of giving
Yeah, but
me a textbook,
to some
rather show me
extent,
how it's done.
everything you
It's-
want to
it's
do,
gonna be theory.
everything you want to do to some extent,
It's gonna go under
includes
theory.
knowledge.
Alright, to answer the question that you had for me initially, because I think I'm digressing out here. Like,
Hey,
I mean,
this is
like I
the
really,
thing.
I ain't gonna
This
lie,
is
like
the
I love
thing.
seeing you two debate, you know, I'm
This
just
is
there
the-
like,
this
okay,
is-
I wanna hear more of this, but you
I'm
know,
sorry.
This is
time.
the-
I'm
Nah,
sorry.
nah.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. I am MJMPOYI. Up until next time, goodbye.
Sure.
Hold on,